We have a fraction here, a ratio, and we would like to turn it into another one that has a denominator of u minus 6 times u minus 3. So what we can do is just simply think about what would you need to multiply the original denominator u minus 6 by to turn it into u minus 6 times u minus 3. Well, it's just missing a u minus 3. So if I multiply u minus 6 by u minus 3, we would have the denominator u minus 6 times u minus 3. Whatever I do to the bottom, I've got to do to the top. So let's multiply straight across. 7u times u minus 3 is 7u times u minus 3. Now, if you want to multiply it together for your final answer, you can. You could make this 7u squared minus 21u, or you can just leave it in factored form. Okay, so let's just do a couple more here. This one, I want to force w minus 8 to be w8 minus w minus 6. So what that is going to need is that w minus 8 to turn it into this, it needs a w minus 6. So let's multiply by w minus 6, but what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So let's multiply numerator times numerator. Again, if you'd like to write that as 3w squared minus 18w, you can, or you can leave it like this. Okay, now this one looks a little bit different. We're trying to force a denominator of 2v minus 5 to look like 6v minus 15. And notice that 2v turned into 6v, and negative 5 turned into negative 15. So what was happening there is they were being multiplied by 3. So what we're going to do is multiply the denominator by 3 to turn it into 6v minus 15. But what I do to the bottom, I do to the top. So 8v multiplied by 3, 3 times 8 times v is 24v. Okay, last example. We're trying to think of what should we do to turn 3w minus 5 into, or excuse me, 3y minus 5 into 12y minus 20. Well, the 3 turned into 12 and the 5 turned into 20. So those numbers must have been multiplied by 4. So what we'll do is let's multiply the original fraction by 4 in the denominator. 4 times 3y is 12y. 4 times negative 5, negative 20. But what I do to the bottom, got to do to the top. So 3y's multiplied by 4. 3 times 4 times y is 12y. So the main idea, just going to go back to the middle here for a second. You're trying to force this denominator to become this denominator by thinking of what should I multiply this one by to turn it into this one. In this case, it was w minus 6. We multiplied top and bottom by w minus 6. To force this denominator to be this denominator, we're thinking of what is it I'm multiplying by to get here, and this time it was 3. So what I do to the bottom, I do to the top.